My dad laughed in my face when I pitched my business idea, then handed all my work to my brother. 7 years later, I'm CEO of a multi-million-dollar company and just bought out their failing business for pennies on the dollar. Dad's crying now. I'm Kevin, 32, and 3 years ago I was sleeping in my Toyota Camry outside warehouse districts taking notes. But let me back up. Dad ran Monroe Development, commercial real estate. Had my older brother Bryce lined up to take over since we were kids. I was the backup plan. The other son who'd maybe handle paperwork someday. 3 years ago, I pitched Dad on converting abandoned warehouses into tech startup hubs. Spent 4 months on it. Market research, financial projections, contractor bids, had everything lined up. Thought it was bulletproof. He looked at my presentation for maybe 90 seconds. Then he laughed, not a chuckle, full on laughing. Said I should stop daydreaming and learn how real development works. 2 weeks later, I walked past the conference room. Bryce was presenting my exact proposal to investors. Same slides, same numbers, just his name on it. Dad made him VP that afternoon. I packed my car that night. Had $800 in checking. No plan. Just knew I couldn't stay. Slept in that Camry for 6 months. Showered at Planet Fitness. $8 menu. Spent days cold calling property owners asking about abandoned buildings. Most hung up. Some threatened to call the cops. Then I met Carl, Vietnam vet who owned a collapsed textile factory in Newark. Thing was a concrete skeleton. No roof. Pigeons everywhere. He was getting ready to demolish it. I asked if I could buy it instead. He asked how much money I had. I said $600 and a business plan. He stared at me for a full minute. Then he said he'd loan me $50,000 at 8% if I could prove I wasn't an idiot. Took me 3 months to get permits approved. Did most of the initial demo work myself. Hired day laborers when I could afford it. Carl would show up randomly to check progress. Never said much, just watched me work. First tenant moved in 11 months after I bought the place. Tech startup, 50 employees, paid 6 months up front. I cried in my car that night. Built 3 more properties over the next 2 years. Then 6 more. Hired Carl's nephew as my operations manager. Guy was ex-Marine. New construction inside out. Last month my lawyer called. Said Monroe Development was quietly shopping for buyers. Drowning in debt. I asked how much they wanted. She said they were asking $12 million. I said find out what they'd actually take. 2 weeks later she called back. They'd take $1.2 million cash. I wired it that afternoon. Deal closed on a Thursday. I showed up to their office Friday morning at 8 a.m. The receptionist didn't recognize me. Asked if I had an appointment. I told her I owned the building now. She thought I was joking until my lawyer walked in behind me. Dad's office was on the 3rd floor. Corner view. Mahogany desk. Photos of Bryce everywhere. None of me. He was packing boxes when I walked in. Didn't see me at first. Just kept taking down pictures, wrapping them in newspaper. Then he looked up. His face went white, like he'd seen a ghost. Opened his mouth, but nothing came out. I handed him the severance agreement. 30 days pay. More than generous considering he'd burned through $37 million in assets trying to make Bryce into something he wasn't. He started crying. Actual tears running down his face. Said he was sorry. That he should have believed in me. That he made a mistake. I just stood there. Didn't feel angry anymore. Didn't feel satisfied either. Just empty. He asked if we could talk about it. Maybe work something out. I told him he had until Monday to clear his office. Bryce was in the hallway when I left. Intercepted me by the elevators. Asked if I was hiring. Said he had experience. Knew the industry. I pressed the down button. Told him his severance check was with HR. He started getting loud, saying I couldn't do this. That it was his company too. That Dad built it for both of us. The elevator opened. I got in. He was still talking when the doors closed. Drove back to my current project site. 50-unit conversion in Brooklyn. My crew was already working. Concrete dust everywhere. Sound of drills and hammering. My operations manager saw me. Asked how it went. I told him we just acquired 12 new properties and needed to staff up. He grinned. Said he'd make some calls. That was 6 days ago. Dad's been calling every morning. I let it go to voicemail. Bryce sent a long email about family and second chances. Deleted it without reading. Carl called yesterday. Said he heard what happened. Asked if I remembered what he told me that first day at the textile factory. I did. He'd said the difference between success and failure isn't talent. It's whether you can keep working when everyone tells you to quit. Turns out he was right.